Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a question. Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt like you were made for more? Like deep down inside, you knew you had something special, something powerful, something world-changing inside of you, but for some reason, you just haven't broken through. You're not alone. There are millions of people walking around every single day with talent they never tapped into, dreams they never chased, and potential they never realized. But let me tell you something, success is not about luck, it's not about who your parents are, it's not about what side of town you grew up on. Success is about making a shift, and today, I want to show you how you can become successful by changing just one thing. That's right, just one thing, and that one thing is your mindset. Now, some of you might be thinking, here we go again, mindset. I've heard that before. Yes, you've heard it, but hearing it and living it are two different things. Hearing it won't change your life, but owning it, believing it, and walking in it every single day that will. See, most people live life from the outside in. They wait on the world to change. They wait for the economy to turn. They wait for someone to discover them, choose them, rescue them. But successful people, they live from the inside out. They don't wait for a break. They become the break. Let me tell you a little story. There was a young man full of ideas, full of energy, full of hunger, but everywhere he turned, doors slammed in his face. People told him he wasn't smart enough, that he didn't have the experience, that he was dreaming too big, and for a while, he believed them, but one day he made a decision. He said, "I'm done waiting for the world to give me permission." He got up, he studied, he worked, he failed. He kept going, he changed the way he saw himself. He stopped calling himself broke. He stopped saying, "I can't." He stopped saying, "Maybe one day." And he started declaring, "It's already mine. I just have to grow into it." That man became successful, not because he won the lottery, but because he changed his mindset. Let me break it down for you. Here are the 3 mindset shifts you need to make to walk into your success. 1. From victim to victor. Too many people walk around with a victim mindset. Life's not fair. I didn't get a chance. I was dealt a bad hand. Listen, what happened to you might not be your fault, but how you respond, that's on you. When you shift from a victim to a victor, you stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "What can I learn from this?" You stop saying, "I can't," and start saying, "I will." You stop blaming your past and start building your future. You've got to decide, are you going to tell the story of why you couldn't? Or are you going to live the story of how you did? 2. From scarcity to abundance. See, some people operate like there's not enough time, not enough money, not enough love, not enough opportunities. Let me tell you something, there is more than enough in this world. But if you walk around with a scarcity mindset, you'll reject the very opportunities that are trying to find you. You'll say, "I can't afford that," instead of asking, "How can I create more value so I can?" Abundance starts with believing that there's more for you. It starts with speaking life over your situation. You might not have the resources now, but guess what? Resourcefulness will always beat resources. 3. From fear to faith. You cannot walk into your destiny if you're holding hands with fear. Fear will whisper every lie it can. What if you fail? What will people think? What if you're not good enough? But here's the truth. Fear and faith both require you to believe in something you can't see. Why not believe in the best outcome instead of the worst? When you operate in faith, you take steps without needing the whole staircase. You move even when you're scared. You speak even when your voice shakes. You show up again and again and again because you know this one thing. Success belongs to those who stay in the fight. Let me leave you with this. The people you admire, the ones who changed the game, built empires, rose from the ashes, they all made one powerful decision. They decided to believe in the power of their mindset. They decided to bet on themselves. They decided that no matter what happened outside them, they'd never let it break what was inside them. And you're one decision away, one mindset shift away, one belief away from becoming the version of yourself that you were born to be. So I challenge you today, Stop waiting. Stop playing small. Stop shrinking yourself to fit places you've outgrown. Stand up. Speak up. Step up. Change your mindset and you will change your life. Because the truth is, success doesn't start with money or fame or titles. Success starts in your mind, and the moment you change that, everything else will follow. Everything in your life begins with a thought. Every decision you've ever made, every direction you've ever taken, every habit you've ever formed, it all started in your mind. Your mindset is the lens through which you see the world, and more importantly, it's the lens through which you see yourself. If that lens is cracked with fear, doubt, insecurity, or negativity, then your view of life will reflect exactly that. But when you shift that mindset, when you clean the lens, widen it, and look through it with belief, clarity, and confidence, you begin to change the way you respond to everything around you. You can't live a powerful life with a powerless mindset. You can't expect to have success, peace, fulfillment, or break through if the story you keep telling yourself is one of defeat. If every time you face a challenge, your inner voice says, I can't, or I'm not enough, or this always happens to me, then that story will become your reality. It's not because life is unfair, it's not because opportunity doesn't exist, it's because your mindset is filtering out possibility and replacing it with limitation. Let's be clear, changing your mindset is not about pretending everything is perfect. It's not about toxic positivity or ignoring struggle. It's about developing the mental strength to face challenges with courage instead of fear, to look at obstacles as opportunities to grow, and to reframe failure as feedback, not finality. A fixed mindset says, this is who I am and I can't change. A growth mindset says, this is where I'm starting and I'm willing to evolve. The most successful people you know didn't get there because life handed them everything on a silver platter. They got there because they trained their minds to believe in something bigger than their circumstances. They refused to let rejection define them. They chose persistence when quitting was easier, and that came from mindset. Before they had money, they had belief. Before they had followers, they had vision. Before they had recognition, they had discipline. Everything they built came from a mental foundation that said, I will not be denied. You can learn all the strategies. You can read every book. You can listen to every podcast and take every course. But if your mindset is still rooted in fear, doubt, or low self-worth, you will sabotage your own progress. Your mindset sets the ceiling for your success. It is the thermostat for your potential. You will only rise as high as you're willing to think. That's why changing your mindset isn't optional, it's essential. A person with a powerful mindset doesn't wait for perfect timing. They create the moment. They don't need permission. They give themselves the authority to act, to speak, to lead. They don't say, I hope. They say, I will. Because they understand that success is not just about what you do, it's about how you think before you do it. Most people are trapped not by their circumstances, but by the mental stories they've chosen to believe about their circumstances. That's why two people can go through the same storm and come out with completely different outcomes. One is broken, the other is built. One gives up, the other gets stronger. The difference, not talent, not resources, not luck. Mindset. Changing your mindset means becoming aware of your thoughts. It means choosing thoughts that empower rather than imprison. It means training yourself every single day to align your thinking with the life you want to create, not the limitations you've been handed. That shift doesn't happen once. It happens repeatedly. You catch the thought. You challenge it. You replace it. Over time, those new thoughts create new actions, and those actions, they build a new life. Your past is a chapter, not your conclusion. Too many people are walking through life dragging their history behind them like a chain, letting old failures, old mistakes, old labels define who they are today. But let me tell you something that can set you free. Just because something happened to you doesn't mean it has to continue happening in you. You are not your past, you are your potential. You are not the person you used to be. You are who you choose to become right now. Yes, your past may have shaped you, but it doesn't own you. It may have taught you, hurt you, humbled you, but it cannot determine your future unless you give it permission. Every scar, every loss, every setback was a moment in time, not a life sentence. You don't have to keep replaying the pain. You don't have to keep rehearsing the regret. Your past is a place of reference, not residence. The truth is, every person has a past. Everyone has made decisions they wish they could undo. Everyone has moments they'd rather forget. But what separates those who rise from those who stay stuck is not perfection, it's the ability to shift their identity from what was to what can be. The moment you stop identifying yourself by your worst moments and start identifying yourself by your capacity to grow, you take back your power. Your potential isn't limited by your past, it's limited by your belief in your past. Some people don't rise because they keep calling themselves by the wrong name. They say, I'm a failure, instead of I failed but I learned. They say, I've always been this way, instead of I'm capable of change. They say it's too late, instead of now is the perfect time. The language you use when you talk about your past matters because words shape beliefs and beliefs shape destiny. You may have been broken, but you are not broken. You may have been overlooked, but you are not invisible. You may have been doubted, but that doesn't make you unworthy. Stop measuring your worth by who you used to be. That version of you was surviving. This version of you is rising. Your potential is bigger than your record. It's bigger than your mistakes. It's bigger than any failure you've endured. Potential lives in your decisions, not your history. Every single day, you have the power to choose differently. You can choose to think better, speak better, act better. And the more you align your choices with who you want to be instead of who you used to be, the more you transform. Don't let the opinions of people who knew a past version of you stop you from stepping into your future. Some people will only ever see you through the lens of who you were. That's not your burden to carry. Let them talk, let them doubt. You just keep showing up, keep growing, keep walking in your potential. One day, they'll have no choice but to adjust their vision. Remember, greatness is not handed to the flawless, it's claimed by the brave. And the bravest thing you can do is believe in a version of yourself that you haven't fully met yet. Potential isn't loud, it doesn't beg for attention, it's quiet power waiting to be activated by courage, consistency, and vision. You are not trapped by your past unless you stop moving forward, so keep going. Keep evolving, keep proving to yourself that you are not defined by where you started, but by how far you're willing to go. Certainly, success isn't a one-time event, it's not a moment you reach and get to rest on forever. It's not something you earn once and then get to coast. Success is a process, not a destination. It's something that has to be maintained, nurtured, and fought for every single day. You don't own success, you rent it, and the rent is due every single day, whether you feel like paying it or not. There are no shortcuts, no hacks, no cheat codes that can replace consistency. Talent can open the door, but discipline is what keeps it open. You can get lucky once, you can win by chance once, but staying successful, living successful, is only for those who are willing to pay that daily price, the price of effort, the price of focus, the price of sacrifice, the price of showing up when it's uncomfortable, when it's boring, when it's hard, when no one is clapping for you. The reason most people never reach their full potential is not because they lack the ability, it's because they stop paying the rent. They have a great day, a great week, maybe even a great month, and they think they've made it. So they slow down, get distracted, get comfortable, and slowly success slips away, not because they weren't good enough, but because they stopped doing what made them great in the first place. The rent for success is not just physical effort, it's mental resilience. It's doing the right thing when no one is watching. It's choosing growth over comfort. It's saying no to distractions so you can say yes to your future. It's waking up with purpose even when you feel empty. Every day is a test. Every day is a question. Are you still hungry? Are you still willing to do what it takes? Are you still paying the rent? Some people think success should get easier over time, but the truth is the higher you climb, the more you have to protect what you've built. The pressure gets heavier, the responsibilities grow larger, and the cost goes up. The rent never gets cheaper, the work never stops. What changes is your mindset. You either learn to love the grind or you get crushed by it. There are people who dream of success, and then there are people who prepare for it every day. The dreamers talk, the doers train, the dreamers wait, the doers work. Success doesn't respond to emotion, it responds to discipline, it responds to repetition, it responds to the one who keeps showing up. Even after the excitement wears off, motivation gets you started, but habit is what carries you across the finish line. You can't buy long-term success with short-term effort. You can't reach a lifelong goal with a weekend mindset. If you want the results that last, you need to develop discipline that lasts. That means making sacrifices no one sees, putting in hours no one tracks, and doing the little things with excellence even when they feel insignificant. The rent for success is paid in silence, long before the world applauds. If you want to separate yourself, stop looking for easy. Easy doesn't pay well. Easy doesn't stretch you. Easy doesn't build character. Pay the rent with discipline. Pay the rent with focus. Pay the rent with grit. Because the truth is, someone else is out there paying the price you're not willing to pay, and they will take your spot if you pause too long. Every single day is another opportunity to earn it again. To prove to yourself that you're not just chasing success. You're committed to becoming the kind of person who can handle it, sustain it, and grow it. That only happens when you understand that success is rented, and the rent is due every day. Fear doesn't tell the truth. It doesn't give facts. It gives feelings, loud, overwhelming, exaggerated feelings that try to talk you out of your destiny. Fear will give you every excuse, every reason, every worst-case scenario. It will whisper in your ear that you're not ready, that you're not good enough, that you'll embarrass yourself, that no one will care, that it's safer to stay small. But fear is a liar, and the only way to silence it is to act anyway. Fear is clever. It doesn't always show up as panic or terror. Sometimes it hides behind perfectionism. Sometimes it wears the mask of procrastination. Sometimes it pretends to be logical. It will convince you to delay, to shrink, to wait for the right time that never comes. Fear will disguise itself as wisdom, but its real goal is paralysis. It doesn't want you to fail. It wants you to never even try, because as long as you don't try, fear wins without lifting a finger. Everyone feels fear. The difference between the people who break through and the people who stay stuck is not that the successful are fearless, it's that they refuse to let fear decide for them. They take the step anyway. They speak up anyway. They build it anyway. Fear screams, but they keep moving. They feel it, but they don't follow it. They've learned that action starves fear. The longer you wait, the louder it gets. But when you move, even if it's small, even if it's shaky, fear starts to lose its grip. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's doing it while fear is present. It's choosing your purpose over your panic. It's understanding that fear is natural, but obedience to it is optional. When you act in the face of fear, you train your brain to trust you. You teach yourself that you don't need perfect conditions to begin. You don't need all the answers to make progress. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to be willing. Fear wants you to believe that the worst will happen, but most of the time the worst doesn't happen. The lie does. The lie that you can't. The lie that you'll never change. The lie that you're stuck. Those lies build invisible cages, and people live in them for years, not because they're trapped, but because they never challenged the lie. They never tested it. They never asked, what if the fear is wrong? They never acted anyway. The more you act, the more fear shrinks. The more you delay, the more it grows. Fear feeds on hesitation. It grows in silence, but it dies in movement. You don't have to leap. Sometimes one step is enough. One message, one call, one yes, one door you knock on. That's how fear gets weakened. By motion, not by overthinking. You can't think your way out of fear. You have to move your way through it. Fear will always show up when you're on the edge of growth. It always appears at the gate of something important. That's how you know you're close. The intensity of your fear is often a clue to the size of your assignment. The more resistance you feel, the more meaningful the mission. Fear shows up to test your belief. It's not there to stop you. It's there to ask, how bad do you want it? There will never be a time when fear disappears completely, but there will be a time when you stop bowing to it, when you stop giving it the microphone, when you stop letting it call the shots. And the moment you decide that fear may exist, but it will not lead, that's the moment you take your power back. Fear may knock, but you don't have to let it in. It may speak, but you don't have to listen. You can act anyway. The foundation of everything you want in life begins with self-belief. If you don't believe in you, don't expect anyone else to. People respond to how you see yourself. They treat you according to the energy you carry, the confidence you walk in, the value you place on your own name. If you carry yourself like an afterthought, the world will overlook you. If you speak like you're unsure, the world won't listen. But when you believe in yourself, truly believe, you don't need to beg for attention, validation, or approval. You attract respect by embodying it. Too often, people wait for someone to co-sign their potential. They wait for permission. They wait for someone to notice them, to praise them, to validate that they're good enough. But the truth is, the world doesn't believe in people who don't believe in themselves. It doesn't invest in uncertainty. It doesn't follow hesitation. If you want others to take you seriously, you have to take yourself seriously first. That starts with how you speak about yourself, how you carry your goals, how you honor your own vision. Self-belief isn't arrogance. It's not about thinking you're better than anyone. It's about refusing to think you're less. It's about looking at your flaws, your failures, your past, and still saying, I'm worthy of more. It's about understanding that confidence is not something you wait to feel. It's something you decide to claim. You don't have to feel ready to act ready. You don't have to know everything to begin. You just have to trust that what's inside of you is strong enough to figure it out along the way. If you struggle to believe in yourself, it's likely because you've been rehearsing the wrong story. You've been repeating your mistakes instead of reinforcing your strengths. You've been focusing on the people who doubted you instead of the progress you've made. Self-belief is a practice. It's not built in a moment. It's built in repetition. You build it every time you keep a promise to yourself. Every time you show up when it's uncomfortable. Every time you speak life over your situation instead of tearing yourself down. The most dangerous thing you can do is wait for someone else to believe in you before you start moving, because you may wait forever. Some people won't see your potential until it's undeniable. Some people will underestimate you simply because they don't understand you. That's not your job to fix. Your job is to believe in your gift before it's recognized, to believe in your ideas before they're applauded, to believe in your mission even when no one else sees it but you. You teach the world how to treat you by how you treat yourself. If you act like you're invisible, people will look past you. If you act like you have nothing to say, people will stop listening. But when you stand in your truth, when you speak with conviction, when you walk into a room like you belong there, even if you're shaking on the inside, people respond. They lean in. They respect what you respect. The truth is, self-belief doesn't always feel loud. Sometimes it's quiet, it's private, it's waking up and deciding to try again, it's pushing through the doubt, it's doing the work when no one's watching. It's believing you're worthy even when you're still becoming. It's looking in the mirror and saying, maybe I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm on my way, and I believe in the person I'm becoming. Belief doesn't make everything easy, but it makes everything possible. Without it, you'll hesitate at every turn. With it, you'll walk through doors no one thought you could open. You'll take risks, face rejection, and keep going, not because it's guaranteed, but but because you know what you carry is real. And once you truly believe in yourself, you stop waiting to be chosen. You choose yourself.